I'm 84 years old. I've survived a triple bypass, outlived two economic depressions, and watched the dirt settle on the coffins of almost every man I ever called a friend. And I'm going to tell you the cold, ugly truth that your doctors, your polite children, and the guys you drink beer with on Sundays will never tell you. They won't say it. Because to say it out loud is to admit that we are the architects of our own pathetic decay. I feel the arthritis grinding in my knuckles every morning. My knees pop like dry twigs just walking to the mailbox. The body breaks down, gentlemen. That's just the tax we pay for gravity and time. But what I see happening to you, men in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, that isn't biology. You sit back, wave your hand at a new piece of technology, a shifting world, and you say those magic words. I'm too old for this. You wear that number, 50, 60, like a heavy, rusted shield. You call it wisdom. I call it what it is. Intellectual cowardice. A lazy mind begging for a rocking chair. Don't you dare swipe away from this. Don't look away, because I'm about to tell you why using your age as an excuse is the exact moment your brain schedules its own funeral, long before the undertaker ever measures you for a box. Let me take you back to the fall of 1989. I was 47 years old. I remember the exact smell of that October. Damp earth, stale black coffee, and the sharp scent of burning leaves drifting through the open window of my study. I was a man who worked with his hands, a proud man, and pride, gentlemen, pride is the heaviest anchor a man can tie to his own neck. My son David was 15. He came into my study one evening carrying this clunky gray plastic box, one of those early personal computers. He had spent months saving up from his paper route to buy it. His hands were actually shaking a little with excitement. I can still see the dirt under his fingernails. He set it on my heavy oak desk, right over my ledger. "Dad," he said, his voice cracking, "look at this. I learned how to make it run a program. Let me show you how it works. We could do it together." I looked at that glowing green screen. I looked at the blinking cursor. And you know what I felt? Terror. The sheer, paralyzing terror of not knowing, of being a beginner again. But a man in his late 40s doesn't admit he's afraid. So I did what weak men do. I masked my fear with arrogance. I pushed the keyboard away. "Take that toy off my desk, Davy," I said. "I've been managing my life with a pen and paper since before you were born. I'm too old to learn this new nonsense. My brain doesn't work that way." It was a lie. My brain worked just fine. I was just lazy. I didn't want to exert the mental energy to be clumsy, to ask questions, to look foolish in front of my own son. I used the excuse of being too old to protect my fragile ego. I can still hear the exact sound of his sneakers scuffing against the hardwood floor as he backed away. I remember the way his shoulders slumped, just a fraction of an inch. The light in his eyes, that eager, bright light of a son wanting to share the future with his father. It just died. "Okay, Dad," he whispered, and he walked out. He gently closed the door behind him. Click. That sound. That soft, polite little click of the door. It still echoes in my head at 3 a.m. I didn't just reject a computer that night. I rejected him. I rejected the changing world. That phrase, "I'm too old." It became my favorite drug. It was so easy. and my wife. She saw it all from the hallway. She didn't yell. She just gave me this long, silent look, a look of profound disappointment. She realized in that exact moment that she was married to a man who had decided to stop growing, a man who had chosen a comfortable stagnation over the messy, beautiful effort of staying alive. I built my own tomb that night, gentlemen, brick by brick, excuse by excuse. Fast forward to today, 35 years later. I look at you now and my chest tightens because I see you doing the exact same thing. I see a 58-year-old man sitting on a $3,000 leather sectional. You've got the gray hair. You've got the retirement account. But you are spiritually starving. The house is completely silent. Your wife is out visiting her sister. It's just you and the artificial roar of a football game you aren't really watching. Then, ping. Your smartphone lights up the dark room. It's a text from your daughter. She lives 3 states away. You put on your reading glasses. You squint at the screen. Dad, the message says. Tommy is presenting his science project live right now. Click this link to watch him answer questions. He's looking for you in the chat. You tap the link. A new screen pops up. It asks you to download an application. It asks to verify your email. It wants a password you haven't used since 2019. I know exactly what happens in your chest right now. A spike of irritation. A heavy, exhausting wave of feeling inadequate. You stare at it for 30 seconds, and then the surrender. The lazy, comfortable surrender. You toss the phone back onto the glass table. It lands with a hollow clatter. You mutter to the empty room, I don't understand this cloud nonsense. I'm too old for this tech crap. You type back, proud of him. Send. You think you just avoided a 10-minute headache. But let me tell you what you really did. You just missed a memory. You didn't see the kid's face looking at the webcam, waiting for his grandfather's name to pop up. And now you sit there. The microwave beeps in the kitchen. Your dinner for one is ready. The phone stays dark. Nobody texts back. The silence in that room is deafening. It's the silence of a man who is becoming obsolete by his own hand. You are alive, yes. Your heart is beating, but you are becoming a ghost in your own family's digital living room. You are fading into the wallpaper of a world that is moving forward without you. And the bitter truth is, the door isn't locked from the outside. You locked it from the inside. Let's strip away the polite excuses, gentlemen. Let's look under the hood at the real disease here. It isn't a declining IQ. It isn't that your neurons are burning out. It is your ego, the fragile, terrified male ego. For the last 30 or 40 years, you built a kingdom. You were the provider, the boss, the man who had all the answers. You knew how to rebuild a carburetor, how to close a real estate deal, how to navigate the world as it was. You were the master of your domain. But the world doesn't care about your domain. It keeps spinning. It rewrites the rules every morning. And suddenly, to survive in this new world, to understand your grandchildren, to stay relevant in your career, to just be a part of the human conversation, you have to become a beginner again. You have to start at the absolute bottom. And a proud man despises being a beginner. He is terrified of looking clumsy. He is terrified of asking a 25-year-old kid how to operate a piece of software. He's paralyzed by the thought of looking stupid. So, what do? We reach for the ultimate socially acceptable shield. We say, "I'm too old for this." It sounds like wisdom, doesn't it? It sounds like the quiet dignity of an elder statesman passing the torch. But it's a lie. It is intellectual cowardice dressed up as maturity. You use your age as a fortress to hide the fact that you are simply too lazy or too scared to endure the temporary discomfort of learning. You tell yourself, "I've earned the right to rest my mind." Listen to me very carefully. You might have earned a pension. You might have earned a gold watch from the company. But you do not earn the right to stop thinking until the dirt hits your coffin. The moment you stop challenging your brain, what you proudly call your life experience begins to calcify. It hardens into sheer, bitter stubbornness. I've watched it happen to 100 good men. Their world shrinks, first to the size of their neighborhood, then to their living room, then to their armchair, and eventually their entire universe is just the space between their ears, filled with resentment for a world they refused to understand. You aren't protecting your dignity by refusing to learn, gentlemen. You are choosing to die from the neck up, decades before your body catches up. So how do you stop the rot? How do you resuscitate a mind that's been on life support for a decade? You do 3 things, gentlemen, and you start doing them today, before the sun goes down. Number 1, you take the phrase, "I'm too old for this," and you burn it. You completely strike it from your vocabulary. The next time those words try to leave your mouth, I want you to swallow them like broken glass. It is a poison. It is the ultimate white flag of surrender. Replace it with 2 simple words. Show me. Number 2, you go find someone half your age, your son, your daughter, your grandson, or the young kid working at the hardware store, and you ask them to teach you something you don't know. You sit down, you shut your mouth, and you let yourself be the dumbest guy in the room for 30 minutes. Feel the burn of your ego shattering. I remember the day I finally asked my grandson to show me how to make a video call. My hand shook. I felt ridiculous. But when I saw his face on that screen, smiling from 3,000 miles away, I wept. I wept for the years I had lost to my own stubborn pride. Do not lose those years. Number 3, pick up a tool, a book, or a piece of technology you have actively avoided. Spend 30 minutes a day wrestling with it. Your brain is a muscle. It needs to lift heavy weights, and right now it's wasting away on a diet of nostalgia, old westerns, and cable news. Learn to use artificial intelligence. Read about quantum physics. Do it until your head hurts. Listen to me. True freedom in your twilight years isn't about having a fat retirement account or a paid-off mortgage. True freedom is the humility to remain a student of life until your very last breath. There is a beautiful, terrifying, and fast-moving world out there waiting for you to engage with it. The sand is running out of the glass, gentlemen. You can spend your remaining time sitting in the dark, guarding a museum of your past achievements. Or you can turn on the lights, open the front door, and step out into the cold, sharp air of the present. Don't let them carve on your tombstone, "Died at 50, buried at 85. Wake up, get back in the arena, make it count.